Is China better than Europe? Is the United States still the best option? Or does it simply depend on your profile and your budget? Because the truth is this, there is no perfect country for everyone. In this video, we're going to compare China, Europe, and the United States honestly. No marketing, no inflated numbers, no selling illusions. We'll talk about real costs, academic quality, career prospects, language, cultural adaptation, and opportunities after graduation. If you're thinking about studying abroad in 2026, this analysis could save you thousands of dollars and several costly mistakes. Hello, international friends. I'm Alexa, and I'm part of the LivinChina team. On this channel, we talk about studying in China, yes, but we also approach these topics with strategic thinking, because the decision to study abroad shouldn't be based on trends. It should be based on analysis. Give the video a like and subscribe if you're interested in clear, structured content about international education. Let's start with what usually determines the decision: money. In the United States, annual tuition for international students can vary significantly. At public universities, it may range between $20,000 and $35,000 per year. At private universities, it can exceed $40,000 or even $50,000 annually. On top of that, you have to add the cost of living, which can range between $12,000 and $20,000 per year, depending on the city. In total, studying in the United States can easily exceed $35,000 to $50,000 per year. In Europe, the situation is much more diverse. Germany is not the same as the United Kingdom. In countries like Germany or Spain, tuition at public universities may range between $1,000 and $4,000 per year for international students, although the cost of living may be between $10,000 and $15,000 annually, depending on the city. In countries such as France or the Netherlands, the total annual cost can approach $15,000 to $20,000. In the United Kingdom, tuition alone can exceed $20,000, and the total annual cost may approach or exceed $30,000. In China, tuition for English taught programs typically ranges between $2,000 and $6,000 per year at many public universities. The cost of living may vary between $2,000 and $6,000 annually, depending on the city and lifestyle. On average, the total annual cost may range between $6,000 and $10,000. So, in purely financial terms, the United States is generally the most expensive option. Europe varies greatly depending on the country. China often offers a more controlled overall budget, but money is only one part of the equation. What really matters is what you get in return for that investment. Let's talk about something even more important than price: academic quality and global recognition. The United States still has some of the most prestigious universities in the world. Institutions like Harvard, MIT, Stanford, and Berkeley dominate global rankings and have extremely strong academic reputations. If your goal is to study at a top global university and you have the budget to do so, the United States offers a very consolidated academic and research ecosystem. In Europe, there are also universities of extremely high quality. Countries like Germany, France, Switzerland, the Netherlands, and the United Kingdom have globally recognized institutions. Many European universities also have long academic traditions and strong research focus. One advantage of Europe is that you can find high academic quality in multiple countries with moderate costs, depending on the destination. In China, international perception has changed significantly in recent years. Universities like Tsinghua University, Peking University, and Fudan University consistently appear in global rankings. China has invested heavily in research, technology, and innovation in areas such as engineering, artificial intelligence, international trade, and applied sciences. Academic growth has been very significant. Now, we should be honest. If we talk about historical global prestige, the United States and some European universities still have more automatic recognition in certain sectors. But in terms of modern infrastructure, advanced laboratories, and strong connections with technology industries, China has progressed very rapidly. So the question here is not which country is better overall. The question is what you want to study and where you want to position yourself professionally. Now comes one of the most important parts of the comparison. what happens after graduation? Because studying abroad is not only about getting a degree, it's about positioning yourself professionally. In the United States, the labor market is large and dynamic. However, for international students, staying to work depends heavily on visa type and professional field. In STEM fields, there is the possibility to extend temporary work authorization, but the immigration process can be complex and competitive. Additionally, many companies prioritize citizens or permanent residents. In Europe, the situation varies depending on the country. For example, Germany offers a job search period after graduation. Spain and other countries also allow students to change their resident status to work permits if they obtain a job contract. However, the European labor market can sometimes be slower than the United States or Asia, and the local language is often essential for professional integration. In China, job opportunities also depend heavily on the sector. To obtain a work visa, you need a university degree and a contract with a Chinese company. In fields like engineering, international trade, technology, or language teaching, opportunities exist, but it is not an open labor market without requirements. Additionally, certain strategic sectors may have additional regulations. Here's something important to understand. Not everyone studies in a country with the intention of staying there permanently. Many students use the experience as an international platform, later returning to their home country with a much stronger professional profile, or moving to another market. The United States offers a strong global network. Europe offers mobility within the European Union. China offers strategic positioning in Asia and connection to one of the world's largest economies. So the real question becomes, where do you want to build your competitive advantage? Another point many people underestimate: real cultural adaptation. Because studying abroad is not only about tuition or job opportunities, it's also about how you feel living there every day. In the United States, if you already speak English, integration may be easier. The culture is diverse, there are many international communities, and the environment may feel more familiar for Latin American students. However, the pace can be highly competitive and demanding. In Europe, the experience changes depending on the country. You can study in English at many universities, but for professional integration, you will almost always need the local language. In countries like Germany, France, Italy, or Spain, the national language remains essential for professional opportunities. Cultural adaptation is usually more gradual than in Asia, but it still requires effort. In China, even if you study in English, daily life does not operate entirely in English. Transportation systems, mobile apps, many services, and administrative processes operate primarily in Chinese. That can feel challenging at the beginning, especially during the first months. Additionally, the culture can feel more different for Latin American students compared to European or American environments. Communication styles, food, the academic system, and social dynamics may all feel very different. But here's something important. That cultural difference can become a huge advantage. Adapting to a completely different environment develops autonomy, resilience, and a much stronger global mindset. The real question is not which country is more comfortable. The question is where you are willing to grow. Final conclusion. After comparing costs, academic quality, career opportunities, and cultural integration, one thing becomes very clear. There is no perfect country for everyone. The United States may be ideal if you are seeking historical prestige and have the budget to make a high investment. Europe can be an excellent option if you want a balance between academic quality and mobility within the European Union, especially if you are willing to learn the local language. China can be a strategic option if you are looking for a different international experience, more controlled costs, and positioning in one of the largest economies in the world. The right decision is not the most popular one. It is the one that fits your profile, your budget, and your long-term professional projection. Studying abroad should not be an emotional decision. It should be a calculated decision. If you are evaluating options for 2026 and want to analyze your case with real numbers and a clear strategy, at LivinChina, we work in a personalized way based on your profile and goals. And now I want to ask you something important. If you had to choose today, would you prioritize prestige, cost, or future career opportunities? Write it in the comments, and also tell us which country you're watching from. That helps us create more useful and specific content for you. See you in the next video.